Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another meal prepping video. So the first thing we're starting off with this week are prepping some tomatoes. I really wanted to try and recreate this pasta from a restaurant that I really love. It's called Cooper's Hawk, and they had this pasta that it seems so simple, but the flavors are so good. So I bought all the ingredients to try and recreate it. And fun fact, I really do not like tomatoes at all, but however they do it, like I could honestly eat a gallon of them. So we're gonna try and do that this week. Now that these baby tomatoes are all cut, I'm adding some spices and some seasoning to the mix. I love garlic, so I added quite a bit of garlic, some olive oil, crushed red pepper, salt and pepper. And I'm just going to blend this up into like a chunky kind of salsa and go from there. Next, we are going to cook up some Italian sausage. All I did was remove the casing from these and threw them in the pan. I'm just gonna mash them up so it looks like just ground sausage. Now that it's all cooked up, I'm just draining all of the excess fat and throwing it back in the pan. I'm adding some onions at this point, and looking back, I definitely should have had the onions cooking first before adding the sausage back in, but it still turned out really good. I had some baby tomatoes left over, so I chopped those up and I'm just adding these to the pan. I'm now adding a lid to really get it going, and I boiled some water in a pot for the pasta. So it had been about 20-30 minutes at this point, so I'm adding the blended up tomato to the pan, and this is where we're really going to start the whole process of the sauce. And I just kind of eyeballed it, and I just kept adding and adding until I was satisfied. So while that was simmering and the pasta was cooking, I moved on to the next thing, which were the veggies. And so here I am just cutting up some broccoli so I could roast them. And to season the broccoli, I'm just adding some olive oil, some of this umami seasoning that you can get from Trader Joe's, and some onion salt, and then some salt and pepper. To pair with the broccoli, I'm adding this bag of butternut squash, and to season this, I'm just doing some olive oil, some butter, and then some maple syrup. And at this point, the pasta finished cooking, so I drained it and added it back to the pan. And then I went ahead and added the sausage mix into the pasta. Now the oven was preheated, so I added the veggies in there and I took some shrimp out to defrost. And while the shrimp is defrosting, I am moving on to the next meat, which are some steaks. Here you see me just rinsing it off. Yes, I do rinse my meat off. You can do whatever you please, but this is what I like to do. And because these were fillets, they were pretty thick. So here I am just cutting them in half so that way they can cook a little quicker. And now that the fillets are seasoned with some salt and pepper, I'm just oiling the pan, waiting for it to get hot, and then putting them in there to cook. The shrimp was now defrosted, so I'm adding it to the pasta. Something else I would change is that I would cook the shrimp first and then add it, but it still turned out really good. It just took a little while for the shrimp to cook up, but all I did was add a cover to the pot and I just let it sit for a while. The steaks were done, so I just added some rosemary to the pan for a little bit and then I plated them. The next step in this pasta recreation is adding some heavy cream. The restaurant definitely has some creaminess to their sauce, so I thought this was the best option. And finally, it was time for probably my favorite part, and it was the cheese. This really made the pasta. It gave it just a nice bite. So I bought this Parmesan and Romano cheese blend from Trader Joe's, and it was so good. And if you were wondering, yes, this pasta turned out so good. I'm really happy with how it came out, and I definitely will be making it more. And the last thing we are prepping for the week is some salmon. I'm doing just a simple seasoning blend of salt, pepper, ground mustard, and some Old Bay seasoning. And to go with the salmon during the week, I'm just showing the brown rice that I love to buy from Trader Joe's. It's in the frozen section, and you just pop it in the microwave, and it turns out really good. To finish off the salmon, I'm just squeezing some lemon in the pan, as well as some butter. And that is everything. I'm really happy how everything turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!